This is from, I can't pronounce this word, Yaldabaoth 6. And the title is DM throws a CR18 creature at level 3 party.
Wow, it is like godlike.
The TLDR is DM throws CR18 creature at a group of level 3 to 5 characters. So up a little bit. Expects us to find a way to escape from it. It sounds like the DM wasn't intending for them to fight this thing. They were supposed to run away. So maybe this CR18 creature is the BBEG or a big boss along the way somewhere, and they're supposed to run away right now.
And they decided to fight it. We're gonna kick his ass.
I run lots of games, and I almost never see people run away from a fight. It doesn't matter how many times you warn them or how big you make it, they're going to try to fight it. So let's see where this goes. If this is the party refuses to run, or if the DM was being unfair. This is being written a few hours after the events of this taking place. So their hands are probably still shaking from the event.
Without feeling to have some time to cool down, it is going to be good.
Yeah, their heart rate is still up. They're still in the moment. I don't think the people in my group use Reddit all too much, but this is mostly about the DM. So, a little context. This happened very recently, all in the span of about a week. A friend, who I'll call Xavier, invited me to a hardcore campaign. Xavier is someone who's only run one other campaign, and that one was weird, to say the least. Now he had done some discussion with the other 4 players, who'll be brought up in due time, that this would be a one life type thing. If your character dies, you're gone forever. I, however, did not know this. While, yes, I could have maybe guessed, it still would have been nice to be told this. Now, to his credit, Xavier did say that someone was likely to die in session 1.
Oh my God.
And no, I'm not making this because I'm salty. It's because I need somewhere to vent my anger about this. I can't blame him for saying that characters would die. I'm blaming him for pulling this BS. They are very emotional, right?
Yeah, already like boiling inside.
Exactly. So it opens up pretty normal. Group of 5 players and 5 NPCs, all around level 3 to 5.
2 levels difference is pretty big.
That's big. That's a lot of hit points, especially from 3 to 5. So the first fight begins. Oh, maybe kobolds or goblins, something simple like that, right? You'd think. Blissfully unaware, this is what everybody's thinking. Nope. Let me introduce you to La Chupacabra.
Oh, wow, who is that? I know Chupacabra in real life, not in D&D.
Yeah.
Is it a creature?
Yeah. Apparently they made a stat block for the real life Chupacabra and attacked the players with it. So where do I begin? I know. Let's talk about the NPC's reaction. Remember, they have 5 NPCs with them too. So this group is 5 players and 5 NPCs. So there's 10 players on their team. The main leader of the group of NPCs says to attack it. So everybody did. Want to guess how many immunities it had that were tested?
Ooh.
7.
Oh.
Not resistances, immunities.
Chupacabra.
Obviously, every time you're testing an immunity too, or a resistance, you're casting a spell of some sort or using some ability to test it, only to find out you wasted that spell slot or ability because it didn't work. So they tested and found out that it was immune to force, radiant, psychic, fire, necrotic, piercing, and bludgeoning are kind of the same thing.
Acid.
Yeah, looks like we're going for acid and poison.
If it is immune to
I don't
those.
see cold here either, so maybe cold. But they maybe just didn't test those, and it's immune to those too. It says the only 2 things that did work, acid, like you said. Good job, you called it, which this person could do thanks to being an Ascendant Dragon Monk in the 2024 rules, and slashing. But only a few people had slashing. Why? Like, this is D&D. Who doesn't have a slashing weapon? I imagine every 5-year-old in Baldur's Gate has a slashing weapon.
Yeah, and acid is also pretty spread out.
Yeah, I think...
Who would try necrotic damage before acid?
I don't know, but they tried radiant and necrotic both.
Radiant and necrotic would be close to the last.
Wouldn't you be a little scared though if you tried radiant and necrotic and neither worked?
Yeah, I would.
You would think one of those would work.
At least.
But not the Chupacabra.
But there are 10 people against one tiny creature.
Yeah.
Huge.
So now they want to talk about movement. It had a ground speed of 120 feet.
Whoa. There is no escape.
And a fly speed of 60 feet.
What?
That's crazy.
It is teleportation.
Like, it's the Flash.
Yeah.
The Chupacabra is the Flash.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Now let's talk about this big thing. It's the gimmick. Normally, everything has a reaction. You have a reaction. If something runs by you, you can use your reaction to make an opportunity attack. Every creature, everything has a reaction, but only one per round. Maybe powerful creatures have legendary actions too, but those aren't exactly reactions. They can use legendary actions on somebody else's turn. So when one of the players goes, they can use that legendary action after the player's turn to do something about whatever they did. However, this guy, no, he doesn't care about these rules. Every time somebody moves, the creature gets a reaction to move and attack.
What?
No matter whose turn.
This is a little bit unbalanced.
Yeah.
I don't know if...
Completely. I mean, there's 5 players, 5 NPCs. This Chupacabra gets 11 attacks per round. Plus movement.
There is no escape from this.
No. I don't even know how you run away.
But what I would do probably in this situation, I would probably try to feed NPCs to it and run my ass out. I would probably even try to slow them down with some spell.
Yeah, use your slashing weapons to cut their legs so they can't run.
Oh, no, the ones that like entangled make
entangled. Yeah,
they don't have a lot of bonds with NPCs, so I'm sorry, friend. You were a good fighter.
Sorry for your luck.
Next time.
Wait, though, what happens if it eats all the NPCs and it's still coming? Do you start cutting down your teammates? Maybe get the rules lawyer first, then get the edgelord.
Go in with 5 NPCs and still be able to run after me. It is going to be... It deserves my death.
All right, so that's the gimmick, right? This thing gets an attack every time somebody else takes a turn. Even the most powerful creatures that have like legendary actions only get 3 per round, but this one gets 10 per round. This is impossible. No matter whose turn it was, if they moved, boom, reaction attack. So I guess the running away is not the answer. It's stand still.
And this is bullshit. This is a cheat code.
So fun fact, all of this creature's attacks were also grapples. So that means if you get hit, then you're pretty much taking all your health and you're grappled, which means it has a hold of you. Now you can't move. It's got 10 feet range as well. Most characters have 5-foot range, but some with like tentacles and things have longer range. And then they say there's also thralls from the people it kills. So when it kills something, that person must get back up and fight for it.
Wow, like a zombie.
Yeah, because he needed that, because this thing wasn't already powerful enough.
There is no way to defeat it. This is
I'm not thinking there is. I'm thinking maybe the whole point of this encounter is for them to all die. And maybe they go to another plane after they all die, and that's where the actual campaign is. I don't know.
To revenge.
They wake up in Barovia. So let's go back to the NPCs. In your version, all the NPCs are already food. But in this one, some of them were still alive. So nearby this fight, there was a dungeon. And Xavier said to us, through the leader of the NPCs that the leader was the only one who knew how to get into the dungeon. However, when my friend tried to make a telepathic connection to the leader while he was grappled, he got nothing out of it. So they're stuck. I guess they were trying to go in the dungeon to get away from this thing.
Where does dungeon comes up? I also don't understand.
Yeah, suddenly there's a dungeon nearby, so they're going to go in there. Like, if this thing's hanging around outside the dungeon, what's going to be inside?
Right. 5 of those.
This one's the baby, and his parents are inside.
Yeah, you just pissed off your mother.
Oh, he couldn't speak, even telepathically.
Because he is too focused on grappling.
Xavier then later said that other members of the group knew how to enter the dungeon. He said this after we had spent so long figuring out how to open it in the first place, so they wasted a lot of time when they could have just asked a different NPC.
Why didn't you ask me in the first place?
Yeah, you never asked. I saw you ask him.
What about me?
Let's get to the main part. Here we go. This is the main part. After a few turns, the Chupacabra turns on me and attacks me. Nothing out of the ordinary. It hits. Even after 2 rerolls, thanks to Lucky Feet, I'm like, sure, whatever, okay. I fail the saving throw, and then it deals 26 damage in one attack and has me grappled. I had 27 max HP, so they're down to 1 hit point.
And grappled.
They manage somehow to get out with 1 hit point and try to play a support role, freeing other grappled teammates and such. With 1 hit point, that's pretty brave. I probably play dead and wait until the thing goes away.
It could eat you.
At that point. I guess it's gonna eat everybody then. Another few turns go by and the situation is dire. I think 1 hit point is pretty dire, but it gets worse. Chupacabra now is flying close to my friend in the sky, and they don't have the hit points or armor class to take a hit. They're down low as well. Along with that, they know how to get into the dungeon. So I do the only thing I can. I distract the Chupacabra so that my friends can get inside the dungeon. And of course, it kills me. Doesn't knock me, just flat out kills me. So that's instant death.
Just 1 shot. If you have
so it would have to do.
It does 30 damage.
It does work though. The rest of this person's friends get inside relative safely, barring a few missing eyes and legs, apparently. Obviously, I'm upset, but I think it's fine. I'll just make a new character. Nope. Now I'm just a spectator and can't do effing anything. Great. Love to see that. Really effing love to see that. How do you do it? They say, look, I'm to blame for this partially. That's a good attitude. I like that. Yeah, after I saw it deal massive damage to me, I should have run away. However, do I still blame Xavier for the whole lot of this? Absolutely. I'm going to go off on a tangent here, so just skip this whole next paragraph. There's no way we're skipping this next paragraph.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Sounds like the best paragraph.
Dude.
Yeah, it's a horror story. You want us to skip the horror part?
This is not why we are here. This is opposite.
Apparently they have no idea who they are. Who we are. This is going to be the big paragraph. They told us not to read it. I like the idea of this gimmick, and a lot of my friends agreed. An omnipresent killer, I think he means omnipotent killer, or she, because it was not killable. Able to be, I guess omnipresent, able to be anywhere at once is a cool idea. Not really.
Why does he think that it is a good idea? I don't understand. I like the idea of this gimmick. Of what? Of TPK a party just out of the blue?
It's actually not terrible, but at level 3 to 5, they should be fighting orcs, not a unstoppable killing machine.
Which is obviously OP.
Yeah,
more than OP.
Way too OP for this group.
Godlike, really.
I could see, as a DM, maybe putting this creature into the game and having them meet up with it, but they get away. And the whole time, as they're leveling up and doing other stuff, they all want to get revenge on this creature. And then they go back later and kill it when they're higher level, because it killed some of their NPCs, their friends, but it doesn't sound like this is what he's trying to do. We'll wait and see. What do you think?
I don't think that it is a good idea to throw it to them and kill a player just like that.
He says, an omnipresent killer able to be anywhere is a cool idea. We don't agree, but okay. However, when you make that thing have 300 hit points and immunities to 80% of the damage types that the group could do, yeah, that's not exactly a great recipe. I liked the idea of my character, right? You spend time on your character, you like what you created, and now they're gone, right?
Yeah. You made a whole backstory for him just to be eaten by La Chupacabra.
I can understand a boss where you have to run away from it, but if you do that, say before that you have to run. No, I don't agree with that statement. You don't tell the players to run. They have to figure that out for themselves.
You do not tell them shit.
You're the DM. You put an unstoppable killing machine in front of them and they run toward it, that's on them. But I don't agree that he gave this thing so much movement and so many opportunity attacks. Running really wasn't an option.
120 feet per turn. This is ridiculous. You can't outrun this.
Instead of the leader telling us to fight it, the NPC leader, who's voiced by the DM, I'm sure, he should have told us to run or find a way to hide. I'm not down with that. You got to figure that out for yourself. I'm not a big fan of DMing. Ran a total of maybe 10 sessions, but even I know something simple like that. Well, this is why you're not a DM, because you tell your players what to do. That's railroading. They got to figure it out for themselves. If they want to all die fighting Chupacabra, they can. But if the only way they can get through this fight is to run away, you can't make the thing able to go twice their distance and fly. To the players, if you're reading this, I'm not blaming you. They're talking to the players in their group. I'm not blaming you, just that a lack of information brought me here. Remember, this person claimed they weren't told that if they died, it was like a one death kind of thing, that the character was gone. There's no resurrections, revivification. And to Xavier, the DM, balance test. I get if you want to run a hard campaign, but make it fun hard, not just, oh, you moved, so it gets to deal 70 damage to you because it's bored.
He was aiming for a hardcore, but there is a difference between hardcore and impossible. 300 HP at level of 3 to 5.
All you can do is slashing damage and acid.
That's not much.
At level 3 to 5, acid splash does what? 2d8? You only need to hit him with that like 30 times and you'll be good.
You're doing like 8 damage and the it in response deals you 25. Just like that. Each time you try to hit it.
Yeah. And it grapples you, so then it can just keep hitting you or squeezing or whatever it does.
Yeah, let's be reasonable here.
I'm sorry if this is ranty or just me throwing a pity party for myself and myself only. I just wanted to write this all down. Please go hard on me in the comments. So they want the commenters to abuse them like the DM did.
Not enough abusing.